The most important step in any makeup application, particularly Runway Skin, is a really good hydrating moisturizer. This one is Wellita Skin Food, and I like this one because it has a very nice shine to the skin, so you're starting off with a glowy base before you even put on any makeup products. The two products you just saw are examples of illuminating primers. These aren't primers that fill your pores or add longevity to your makeup, they just give extra glow beneath foundation so that the light coverage foundation we add on top, like this BB cream, have a very glowy finish to them. I'm using my sponge to apply this because the sponge will soak up some of the product and give me lighter coverage. For Runway Skin, it's really not about a full coverage mask-like stage makeup base. We really want it to be light coverage, just adding a little bit of evening to the skin. So that's why a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer is a good option. Make sure to blend this down your neck, especially because on stage we want to go a little bit darker with our foundation because the lights wash us out and make us look pale. So take your foundation down your neck so that there's not a noticeable difference between your face and your neck. I put on a little bit of concealer and I'm letting that sit on my face while I do my eyebrows so that it has time to kind of adhere and let the pigment soak into my skin. For brows, I'm taking an eyeshadow that matches the color of my eyebrow hairs. You can go a little bit darker if you like to. I'm taking a little angled brush and I'm just using that to follow the direction that my hairs grow in and making little hair-like strokes. You'll notice that the concealer is only in a couple spots. I go underneath my eyes and underneath my cheekbone to add brightness, and a little bit on any blemishes or spots of discoloration that I want to even out with more coverage than the BB cream gave me. You do not have to use concealer, but it is a nice option if you prefer to have a bit more coverage in some areas of your face. To blend it out, I'm using my sponge once again. You can also use your fingers though, it works just as well. The next step I'm going to do is bronzer. I'm going to use mostly cream products on my face because they give the most radiance. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. It is a really great drugstore cream bronzer. I'm swirling a brush into it to work the product into the bristles and then tapping off on the back of my hand so that I know exactly how much product I'm putting on my face. For placement, I'm looking at where the natural hollow of my cheek is and placing my brush just a little bit above that and blending it up towards my temples, not down, up. Then I'm putting it on my forehead and blending it into my hairline. I put just a tiny bit along my jaw to break up my face and neck, and then for my nose, I'm pinching my brush to make it nice and thin, and I'm doing 2 little lines on the side of my nose and a little bit on the bottom. This isn't a true nose contour, it's just adding color to the center of the face. This step is completely optional. I just created a little exclamation point on my nose out of a highlighting color to bring some light down the center of my face. I'm taking my sponge from earlier that still has some foundation on it, and I'm using that to clean up the edges underneath my bronzer. This helps if you have blended it too far, it creates a sharp edge underneath. Here I'm using a little hack for when you don't have a cream blush. I'm just taking my lipstick and a big fluffy brush and I'm applying it to my cheeks. I'm going a little bit higher up for this look. Rather than apples of cheek, I'm doing more temple and up almost into the corner of the eye. This creates color harmony because it adds the same tone that you're going to use on your lips. It adds it into your eyes and your cheeks, and it just creates a very uniform look. I'm taking a mattifying powder and I'm making sure I don't have any creases under my eyes before I set it. I'm tapping this powder under my eyes, under my nose, and underneath my cheek, and then I'll also do my forehead. The main element of Runway Skin is very glowy cheeks, so I am intentionally avoiding my whole cheek area with the powder because I don't want to mattify the shine that the illuminating primer, my blush, and my bronzer have given me. For mascara, I'm wiggling my wand from root to tip of my lashes, and I'll let it dry for a minute or 2 in between coats, and I'll do 2 to 3 coats to build up the volume to where I want it. You should never share mascara or liquid eyeliners with other people. If you need to use the communal mascara, you will have to use a disposable applicator for each dip. Do not double dip the product back inside the tube. If mascara is too intimidating for you, that's okay, you don't have to do it, but you will need something to define your eyes, so I would suggest taking a brown shadow and smoking it along your lash line to draw emphasis to the outside of your eyes. I want my skin to be very bronzy and glowy, so I'm taking this shimmery bronzing powder and I'm stamping it on top of the cream product that I already placed. If you don't have this kind of product, that's okay, it's not an essential step. What is essential for Runway Skin is a highlighter. This is a cream highlighter, and I'm taking it on the on the highest point of my cheekbones, aka the top of my cheekbones, and I'm pulling it all the way up towards my temple and taking it underneath the brow bone. You can also use a powder highlighter. I'm actually going to use both in this video because I want my skin to be as glowy as humanly possible. The good thing about a cream product is that it adds a wet texture to your face, so it's really going to catch the light and reflect. I'm using my finger to put this on. You could use your sponge if you want, but I think fingers work really well to work it into your skin. I'm putting a little bit on that exclamation point spot on my nose, my upper lip, and my chin. This is a powder highlighter from the drugstore, and it is very radiant. So I'm just stamping, I'm not swiping, I'm stamping it on the same place that I put the cream highlighter. This is going to set it in place, and it's also going to give me additional glow. The reason we're doing this very shiny runway skin for Jesus Christ Superstar is because the arena is so large that it's hard to see details of your face from such a big distance. So having really glassy skin that catches the light is going to draw your eye into the faces that are on stage. My personal preference is to fill in my lips with lip liner so that as my gloss wears off when I'm talking and singing, I still have a base layer of color underneath. I'm using a semi-transparent high shine lip gloss to really reflect the lights. Using a Q-tip to take off the mascara that I had gotten on my eyelid earlier, and I'm finished. This is Runway Skin.